Yangjang was under his support, holding his head and getting up, yelling angrily, "Big brother, what do you mean? Why do you beat me? You dignified chairman, you beat people on the board of directors, and you are not afraid of being laughed at by outsiders?" Philip smiled slightly and said, "Second, don't you want to know if I have recovered? It was a slap just now, how do you feel? It looks like it was shot by a sick person? You." Yanjung didn't expect that he would say such a thing after hitting him, and even ridiculing him by accusing. He was suddenly angry. However, at the moment he has nothing to do. He can't beat him with his hands. He can only gritted his teeth and said, "Big brother, there is no point in saying this. If you want to reassure me and investors, you should publish your latest update. The medical examination report must be a report issued by an authoritative medical examination institution." Philip sneered and said, "You can't cry if you don't see the coffin, right? Yes, after the board of directors, I will call up the reporters waiting outside and hold a press conference. After the press conference, I will go to the Fairview for an examination. Now I have a whole body CT scanning. The results will come out very quickly. If the fastest, the results can be announced this afternoon." Yanjung saw that he had promised to be so refreshed, and he couldn't continue to find reasons for the trouble, so he gritted his teeth and said, "Okay. Then wait for the results of your physical examination. If you haven't recovered, then I think your physical condition. No, it is suitable to continue to be the chairman of the board, so you should give up the position of chairman and let a healthy person take it." Charlie, who had not spoken all the time, smiled at this time and said, "If the position of chairman must be filled by a healthy person, I believe that neither you nor your brother meets this requirement." Yanjung blurted out and shouted, "UFC King, don't bullshit here. My body is very healthy." "Really?" Charlie sneered, "If I guessed correctly, you should have lost fertility now? You don't even have fertility. You still have the face to say that you are very healthy? For you, fertility is an ability not important at all?" Yanjung had been holding back because of the loss of fertility. His previous character may have long been unable to bear to find Charlie to settle the account. The reason why he has been forbearing, he has not spoken to Charlie until now, is also because he has always put the matter of taking over as chairman of the board first. But he didn't expect that he hadn't found Charlie to take the trouble. This guy actually took the initiative to ridicule him with this incident, which made him suddenly unable to suppress his anger, and blurted out, "You Charlie, I have already treated you to the bottom line of your life. The investigation is clear. Don't think I don't know what your background is. Aren't you the son-in-law of a third-rate family in Orus Hill? What are you pretending to be in front of me?" Seeing that Yanjung had exploded, Yangang also stood up and gritted his teeth and cursed, "You filth, what method did you use? If you don't let us return to normal today, don't blame me for being rude to you. Even if it is. The boss covers you, and we will not spare you." Wei Liang and Wei Guang, who were sitting at the farthest point in the conference room, kept suppressing their anger towards Charlie. They didn't say a word, just because they were afraid of ruining Yanjung and Yanggang's good deeds. Now seeing that they both attack Charlie, so stood up immediately. Wei Liang said viciously, "Charlie, is it? If you don't give us a satisfactory solution to this matter, I will let you lie in the urn back to Orus Hill." Wei Liang was also not to be outdone. "Lying in the urn? Don't even think about going back. I just lift your ashes." Philip screamed with a black face, "It's your turn. Do you think I can't take you home? Do you think I have a disease you can ride on my neck and shit?" Charlie smiled slightly at this time and said faintly, "Uncle, you have recovered from a serious illness. Don't get angry with these people, let me have a chat with them." After finishing speaking, he looked at the other shareholders and said kindly, "Everyone, the next thing has nothing to do with the board of directors. Please avoid it first." Everyone looked at Philip. Philip nodded and said, "Okay, let's all go. There will be a reception in the press hall downstairs later. You can move there and wait first." Everyone stood up almost without thinking and left the meeting room in an orderly manner. As the door of the conference room closed again, Philip said to Charlie, "Charlie, it has been specially soundproofed inside. So even if the gun is fired inside, you can't hear it from outside. so you can play freely." Charlie smiled and said, "Okay, uncle." When Yanzhang and others heard this, their faces paled in shock. They knew that Charlie was very strong, and neither God of War nor Realm Master was his opponent. If he had to do it right away, the four of them would not be enough to watch. Therefore, Yanzhang pretended to be calm and shouted, "Listen to me, I am the second master of the Gu family. My identity is beyond your reach in this life, so you'd better not offend me to death. Otherwise, if you do, you are at your own risk." Charlie didn't get angry when he heard it. He laughed, and asked him, "Don't tell yourself so arrogantly. At the very least, you have to figure out who I am."